The film industry works in such a way that when a successful and profitable movie comes out, we get a sequel. When that sequel is also successful, we get another sequel, then a prequel. Eventually, we get a franchise reboot. We can even see the popularity reflected in other products. For example, when the Star Wars franchise releases toys and other merchandise. Of course, this is normal, and this entire giant system has only one original source, an idea. The idea for the first The Terminator, the idea for the first Avatar, the idea for the first entries in popular action franchises. We see all of this clearly. We understand how the system works. And we know that almost every successful film will eventually get a sequel. But what if I told you that for many films the idea of a sequel isn't straightforward? Many movies were simply inspired by scenes from earlier films. Or we can even find cases where one film was inspired by another without being a direct sequel. In 1978, a film was released that is now considered one of the purest and most influential neo-noir films in cinema history. TheDriver tells the story of an aimless getaway driver who is incredibly skilled at escaping from the police. The film shows his dangerous cat-and-mouse game with a detective who is obsessed with catching him. It has a very simple plot, almost no dialogue, and builds tension through intense action and unforgettable car chases. And you might think, what's so special about this movie? Its uniqueness comes from the quiet but powerful legacy it left behind and the huge influence it has had on modern action movies. By 1975, Walter Hill was already an experienced screenwriter. He had worked on a script for Sam Peckinpah's The Getaway with Steve McQueen and was a second assistant director on the set of Bullitt. That's when he learned how to shoot realistic car chases from inside the car. After the success of his first film Hard Times with Charles Bronson, Walter Hill continued working with producer Larry Gordon. While making that movie, Gordon suggested, "Why don't we make a film about a getaway driver, a professional wheelman who helps criminals escape from the police?" Walter Hill later recalled that phrase with a slight smile. That started the wheel turning. The idea instantly hooked him. He decided to make not just another action movie, but something purer and more abstract. A genre film without any Hollywood cliches. No deep backstories, no character psychology, almost no dialogue. Only the profession, the confrontation, and the pure mechanics of action. Many films use minimalism, and it often works really well. It doesn't overwhelm the viewer with a complicated plot or unnecessary characters. Summer 1975. After finishing filming Hard Times, but before its release, which was delayed because of other Charles Bronson movies, Walter Hill sat down to write the script. He wanted to see how pure a genre film could be. The script came out very tight and laconic, in the same style he first used in Hard Times. The characters didn't even have real names. They were simply called the driver, the detective, and the player. Walter Hill sent the draft to the legendary old-school director Raoul Walsh, who improved it. The script was ready very quickly, but finding the right actors took much longer. The role of the driver was originally written for Steve McQueen, the king of car chases after Bullitt and The Getaway, films that Walter Hill himself had worked on. McQueen read the script but turned it down. He didn't want to star in yet another movie where the cars were the main focus. Other actors were considered, but the project stayed in limbo for about a year and a half. Ryan O'Neal saved the situation, At that time, O'Neill was mostly known for romantic and comedy roles. However, he personally insisted on meeting Walter Hill. The actor said he fully understood the minimalist style the director wanted, and they quickly agreed on everything. Ryan O'Neill's name helped get final approval from the studios. The project was financed by 20th Century Fox and EMI Films. The role of the obsessed detective went to Bruce Dern, and the mysterious player was played by young Isabella Gianni, one of her first big Hollywood roles. The film's budget was about $4 million. Filming took place entirely on real locations in Los Angeles: downtown streets, underground parking garages, warehouses, and empty roads early in the morning. The cinematographer was Philip H. Lathrop, who created the film's signature dirty, neo-noir look with neon lights and deep shadows. The main focus of the film was the car chases. Walter Hill and stunt coordinator Avery Creech wanted maximum realism. No fake rear projection, cameras placed inside the car, point-of-view shots, and real high speed. Ryan O'Neill was specially trained for the stunts and performed many of the dangerous driving scenes himself. Walter Hill later admitted that the first chase didn't turn out exactly as he wanted. It was filmed on the very last night, and a tragic accident. An electrician fell from a roof and was badly injured. Stopped them from shooting more footage. They had to edit the scene with what they already had. The music by composer Michael Small is minimalist and electronic. During the car chases you hear almost nothing but the roar of engines and screeching tires. This makes the action feel pure and mechanical. Walter Hill drew inspiration from European cinema, especially the style of Jean-Pierre Melville, Le Samurai, and from his own experience working on Bullitt. He wanted the film to work like a precise clock, every scene and every turn of the wheel exactly in the right place. Very often, when a film is fully planned and well written in advance, it has a much better chance of success. Every scene already works well on paper. It's as if the director has already solved many problems before filming even begins. Drop by my website if you love movies. I share my reviews and thoughts on films there, plus lots of other cinema articles. I read it regularly and with passion. I'd love to see you there. TheDriver was released on July 28, 1978. In the US, it earned about $4.9 million. Not a big success for that time. Critics were not very impressed. Many of them disliked the strong minimalism, the lack of character depth, and the very short dialogue. TheDriver speaks only about 350 words throughout the entire film. Hill himself knew he was taking a risk. He said it wasn't supposed to be a regular action movie. I was trying to make something a little more, or perhaps a little less. Over time, opinions changed. Today, TheDriver is highly valued for its pure style, for building tension through action instead of words, and for its big influence on the genre. Edgar Wright interviewed Hill and has praised the film many times. You can see its influence in modern neo-noir films, the TheDriver video game series, and many other movies. Hill's film is often called one of the purest examples of 1970s neo-noir. Its influence can be seen in the works of Michael Mann, Thief, Heat, and others, called professionals, nighttime Los Angeles, minimalism in characters. Quentin Tarantino, who included TheDriver in his lists of the coolest movies of all time and drew ideas from it for Pulp Fiction and Kill Bill. James Cameron and other directors of the 18th and 19th who worked with intense action. Its influence on video games is even stronger. The TheDriver series, especially the earlier games, was directly inspired by the film: a getaway driver, big city chases, and a silent hero. Many people say that the TheDriver helped create the popular image of the quiet, ultra-professional wheelman. You can see this same character later in The Transporter, Gone in 60 Seconds, and many other films. Edgar Wright, Babe Driver, has often called TheDriver one of his biggest inspirations. He even interviewed Walter Hill and joked that he made Baby Driver to show the director how powerful the influence of the driver really was. Wright compared the film to the Velvet Underground. Nobody bought the album, but everyone who did went on to form their own bands. According to him, the film influenced a whole generation of directors, including Wright himself, Nicolas Winding Refn, Quentin Tarantino and Michael Mann. Drive is often called the spiritual successor or modern version of Hill's film. Although Nicolas Winding Refn never said he was making a direct remake, the similarities are very clear. Many critics and viewers see Drive as a real homage to the 1978 movie. Main parallels: the main hero is a silent, quiet, almost emotionless professional getaway driver. Ryan O'Neal in 1978, Ryan Gosling in 2011. Both characters speak very little, live by a strict personal code, and stay a mystery to the audience. The Job, a driver who helps criminals escape from the police. In Drive, he also works as a stunt driver in the film industry during the day. Style of storytelling: strong minimalism. Tension comes from looks, actions, and the sound of engines, not from long dialogues. Both films focus more on the feeling of the profession and the confrontation than on a classic story with deep character development. Visual style: Refn copied some of the same camera techniques for chases and interior scenes from TheDriver. Some people even say he recreated one exact shot. Nighttime Los Angeles, neon lights, and a cold atmosphere all feel very similar to the original neo-noir. Refn took inspiration from many sources, including Jean-Pierre Melville's Le Samurai, Michael Mann, and European art house films, but Walter Hill's TheDriver is one of the most important ones. Many reviewers say that without the 1978 film, Drive would have looked very different. At the same time, Drive adds more 1980s style, a synthwave soundtrack, romantic story, and sudden violence. This makes the film more emotional and fantasy-like compared to Hill's dry and mechanical style. For me personally, Drive is the perfect mix of amazing music and minimalism in almost every part of the film. The hardest thing about minimalism is to make the movie look simple but still feel rich and full. That's really difficult, and not every director can do it well. Walter Hill's TheDriver had a big influence on modern genre cinema, especially neo-noir, crime thrillers, and movies with car chases. Although it went almost unnoticed when it came out and got lukewarm reviews, over time TheDriver became a cult classic. Its minimalist style, very short storytelling, tension built through action instead of words, and realistic car chases filmed from inside the vehicles influenced many films that came after it. Thank you for watching, like and subscribe on the channel, see you in the next video.